Dear listeners, my name is Anthony Clark.
And I'm Melanie Clark.
And we are
The Amazing Clarks.
We're both award-winning certified life and love coaches and a husband and wife duo that have been coaching together as a team for 24 years that have been passionately in love for 34. They call us the Amazing Clarks because we empower people to live amazing lives.
And we're here to help you get from where you are to where you want to be in life and love. Love the Amazing Clarks is our personal love letter to all of you that love love.
That's right. You know, we love love.
Yes, we do.
All right, guys. So today we have another great episode for you guys. Today we're going to continue our series from our ebook, 20 Irritating Traits that pushes people away and how to fix them. And so each week we've been covering one trait, and today we're up to trait number 11, actually trait number 12. Trait number 12, which the topic is being too pushy.
Oh.
Being too pushy. So these are all irritating traits that kind of may be affecting your relationship, your dating life, and that you just don't know about it. Yeah. And if you knew about it, that you were doing it, then you can change it and have better outcomes. And so when we wrote this book with the intentions of helping people to see themselves, because maybe you're doing these things and you just don't know it, because usually the people that are doing it are the last ones to find out.
Right.
So we're going to go over this topic today. We're going to have fun with it. Nobody's the bad person. Hopefully we can see ourselves and make that change. That's right. And we're going to show you guys some tips on how to improve it and get past it so you can have better outcomes.
Yes.
And once again, you can get a copy of the ebook at theamazingclarks.com.
Okay.
But before we jump into the main topic, we're going to catch up with the Clarks. Now, this is where we kind of let you guys know what's been going on with us and our personal lives, because some of you guys actually care. So we want to share.
Right.
So, babe, what's been going on? What do you want to share with the listeners that you've been up to?
So much. So I have been in North Carolina for the last couple of weeks with you. And we have been hanging out and going to the gym. And really, we've been really focused on our fitness. I don't know if you guys know this, but Anthony and I are in our late 50s. So we are very aware of how we're taking care of ourselves, and we are focused on looking good, feeling good, longevity. I think this is the time where if you don't start paying attention in your late 50s, when you go into your 60s, that's when people start getting sick and sedentary. So we're making sure we're moving every day. We're walking every day. I am going a little bit crazy over like supplements and different things that we can try.
Crazy. I don't think you're going crazy. I think you're killing it, baby.
Right? So I've started making this Irritating yogurt for us, and it's been amazing. I changed our diet. How are you feeling about all of the changes that I made in our diet?
First of all, I had no clue that you can make your own yogurt.
Yes.
I always thought of like people like in foreign countries making a yogurt with accents, but you actually made this yogurt, and it's actually really good.
Thanks.
And actually, I prefer it more than the store brand.
Yeah.
So
I like
I've been
it
really
too.
impressed. Yeah. And then when you told me it was like this magical yogurt, it ain't just yogurt. It's a magical yogurt. And it's like the fountain of youth. It keeps you younger. And she was selling me on this stuff like, babe, look at this video. And it makes you look younger. And it makes everything, and reverses aging. And you know, and at first I was like, okay. Yeah, that's good, babe.
Yeah.
But then you started doing it with me, and I started jumping in with you, and I feel younger.
I feel younger too.
Yeah. So good job.
I'm
I feel
gonna
like
say-
you've been looking even younger.
Yes, I was going to say I'm looking younger. My skin is looking amazing. Like I'm sweating like crazy right now, but that's okay. That's hormones. I don't care. It's keeping me moist. But but seriously, I've noticed a huge difference from it, and I'm enjoying it. But one of the things I want to say about it was my favorite. It increases oxytocin levels, right? You know, I love me some brain science. Yeah. So it increases your oxytocin levels, which creates more compassion and empathy and love in your life. And Anthony, you and I have been loving lovey-dovey. So the yogurt's working.
It's like next level. Yeah.
Yes. So how do you feel about like the changes we've been making?
I love it. You know, we both agree that we want to turn it up and get more discipline, because it's true. You know, we look at people around our age and everybody's suffering from something. Everybody's taking pills for everything, and everybody has the aches, and you know, we're at a stage where we're in great shape. Yeah. And so you can't take that for granted.
No.
If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So you got to keep it going.
Yep.
And I tend to get into the habit of like, okay, I can miss the gym, miss working out, eat bad for about a couple of weeks, gain a little pounds, get a little out of shape, but then I get in the gym for a week and pop right back.
Right.
But you don't want to push your luck.
No.
Because there may come a day where it may not be that easy to bounce back. So if you stay ready, I ain't got to get ready. So good job. Good job.
Thanks. So I'm not being too pushy with it, the changes, am I?
That's a setup. That's segue. That's good. That's good. You're good.
Thanks.
You're good.
I learned from you. I learned
good.
from the best. I learned from the best,
Man.
sir.
All right. Melanie gave me the perfect softball setup. All right, so let me knock it out the park, people. All right, so today's main topic is from our book, How to Stop Being an Irritating Person, 20 Irritating Traits That Pushes People Away and How to Fix Them. And today's main topic, once again, is being too pushy.
Right.
Being too pushy. Now, once again, don't look at these episodes like we're trying to pick on you, and if these are one of the things you do, we're trying to shame you. It's not about that. It's about being aware and wanting to do better and be better. And that's the only way you're going to know sometimes.
Right.
So, and if you're not that, cool. No problem. Maybe you know somebody that's too pushy, and it gives you some better understanding of how to deal with them and how to still love them and accept them.
Love it.
Love it. Great. So being too pushy, basically, you guys all know what that is. That's like people that can't take no for an answer, people that are always, forcing their opinions. They don't know when to back down. They are habitual line steppers, and they keep pushing that line past your boundaries.
Yeah.
Some of it is even a little Karening. A little Karening.
Oh, okay.
So how do you feel about this topic? First of all, do you consider yourself a pushy person?
Do I consider myself a pushy person? I don't know. I think sometimes. I think I could be pushy when it comes to certain topics, right? Like business, getting things done, productivity, when I want things to go a certain way.
Right.
I consider myself to be a problem solver. So I'm always kind of looking for where do I need to shore up the details? Where can I do better? Efficiency, productivity, that type of thing. And I think if I get in that mode, sometimes I can come off as pushy. How about saying it like that?
No, let's keep it real. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's not my intention to be pushy.
I agree with that.
Normally, I'm pretty easygoing.
Right. So who would you, how do you, okay, let me jump in. I'll take mine.
Okay.
Because
are you pushy?
Because we go through these traits. The point is
that what you
because
wanna
I'm
know?
looking at myself too. I'm not sitting there from a coach's perspective. I'm perfect.
Oh, this
I
is
got
so,
everything
it's
down.
hard to look at yourself.
Yeah. But that's where the growth is.
Yeah.
So with all of these traits, when we were writing this ebook, I had to look at myself and go, am I doing that? Have I done that?
Yeah.
And on more than a few occasions, there were things that I've done in the past that I've worked on.
Yeah.
And there's some things that I'm still working on.
Yeah.
But being pushy was definitely one of my traits that I have. And
Great awareness, honey.
no, my name is Anthony, and I'm a pushy. I'm a pusher man.
Yeah, you can be pretty pushy.
But I've gotten better.
No, you have.
So when I look at my journey as being pushy, first of all, I got to always go back to being a New Yorker.
Yeah.
That's where most of my stuff came from.
Programming.
In New York, you got to be pushy.
Yeah.
That's just a part of life. If you're not pushy, you're going to get pushed.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
It's the truth, yeah. So you got to fight and push. And you can't take no for an answer. If you want something, it's like, nope, keep going. And when you grow up in that environment, it's natural.
Right.
It's a very aggressive place.
Right.
But you get shit done.
Right.
You get results by being pushy. Pushy in dating,
Talking to
hey,
women
baby,
like,
can I have your number? No. Well, I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep
Until you give
trying.
it to
I'm going
me.
to keep pushing until I wear you down. And eventually, you get what you want.
Right.
Sometimes.
okay.
Sometimes. So being pushy was always a part of my environment.
Right.
Now, once I got to California, and it wasn't the same as New York, where they're more laid back, and the pushy still worked for me, actually benefited me in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then when it came to relationships,
Right.
it started to take a toll. And that method no longer worked.
Right.
And that pushy became very irritating to people. And I used to think, what the hell's wrong with them being irritated because I'm pushy?
Right.
And so I had to work on it, and I've done
So
a
you
lot
were
of
an
work.
irritating person?
Yeah, I was an irritating person.
Right.
Yeah, I actually was.
Okay.
And I had to learn when to use it. So when it comes to like going after things I want, like sales, or when I want to win the game, you know, I know that pushiness, I bring it in and and it's a strength, it's an asset.
Right.
But then there are times when it's not the time to be pushy.
Right.
It's the time to just go with the flow. And I'm I got really good at going with the flow.
Absolutely.
And being not pushy. So when I'm pushy, people like, I don't even know if it comes off as pushy, does it?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think you've balanced it more, right? So it's not like you're pushy all the time. I agree with you. It's certain situations, certain people that will come back. That's just part of your personality. But I don't think it's irritating because there's balance. And I think with all these traits, right? Like there's going to be times where every trait's going to probably show up.
It's not overdo.
But it's not overdoing it, or that's like the bulk of your personality. I think that's when it's irritating.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Use it like a scalpel, not like a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. With precision.
Well, you and I have talked about this before, like in our coaching with couples, we talk about trading gifts, right? Like your pushiness and your aggression was one of the things that attracted me to you, because I was really passive, right? And very much a doormat. And I loved how dominant you were, right? And how powerful that energy was. And so I was really attracted to that. And I think I've learned, to be more aggressive and to go for more of what I want from being with you.
I see that.
And I think that let me pat myself on the back here. I think you've learned from me how to tone it down a little bit.
Definitely, yeah.
And to be more caring about what other people think and reading the room, right? And listening and learning that you don't have to bulldoze your way through every situation. You can use a scalpel instead of a hatchet to get what you want in life, right?
Very true.
And so I think that's part of relationships. So, one of the reasons we're talking about this book is love and dating, right? Like we want people to be successful, and sometimes they have traits that are pushing people away. And I think what we're talking about here is really the balance. Like you don't want to not be inauthentic and be yourself. And if you're a powerful person and you have big energy and you're aggressive, just have self-awareness and notice when it's turning people on, turning people off, and you're going to find your people that will like it in moderation, just like everything. We like everything in moderation,
Very true. Very true.
So,
and so we're kind of touching right now on why it's irritating.
Okay,
I admit that I do it. So here's some reasons why it's irritating to people. In case you're a pushy person and you could sit thinking like, you're on the fence, like, should I stop being pushy? Maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. I'm going to help to kind of nudge you a little over the fence.
Okay.
All right. Why it's irritating to people? It disrespects boundaries. When you don't take no for an answer, it creates stress. The persistence makes others feel pressured and uncomfortable. It comes across as overbearing. Instead of being persuasive, you're overwhelmed and people don't trust you. It damages relationships. Constant pressure can push people away rather than bring them closer. So if you're a pushy person right now, I'd like you to just take a second and think about it. Are you dealing with those symptoms in your life?
Is that a fallout? Is that the fallout from your pushiness?
Yeah, exactly. And another thing that helped me with pushiness is seeing other people in my life that were pushy. Once I got out of it, then I started noticing other people that were pushy, and it was like, oh man. Yeah. Was that me?
Yeah.
That's not okay. I'm glad I made that change.
I just want to add to this conversation. I think that, again, I'll say all these traits, but especially with the pushiness, like I think these are opportunities to communicate. Yeah. Right? So like you said, like you noticed other people being pushy, but then that's your opportunity to communicate with people and say, that doesn't work for me. Like you're crossing boundaries for me. And I hope, people reading this book will recognize these traits and have conversations and not just run and not just cut people off. and be willing to say like, hey, this is what works for me and this is what doesn't, and this is why it bothers me. Your pushiness triggered a lot of things in me when we were dating, right? And it brought a lot to the surface, and we had a lot of discussion about it, and I grew a lot from it, right? Some good came out of it because we communicated about it. So these traits aren't about like, you're just irritating, stop being you. It's, how is this affecting the relationships and affecting your life experience? And how can you get better by having self-awareness?
And how can you get more balance?
Yes. How can you get more balance? Yeah. So I love that.
Pushing the boardroom is great. Pushing the bedroom, bad.
Bad. Very bad. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, so now we're going to look at some reasons why people are pushy. So to give you a better understanding of yourself and of others. One of the reasons is fear of losing control. They believe forcing things to happen is the only way to succeed. Thus, you have my New York upbringing.
Yeah.
That was the mentality that this is the way it's done. You have to do this, do it this way. Something else that I realized that contributed to my pushiness, I believe, is being a Capricorn.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to agree with that.
Some people aren't into that, and they don't be like, what does that have to do with it? And I used to be one of those people. But then after a while, I realized there's a lot of truth to zodiac signs in many cases.
Yeah.
And that's part
it's
of
energy.
the Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorn's the GOAT.
Yeah.
They're pushy, man.
They climb that mountain.
Yeah. We lock on to something. Watch out. Once we lock
Very
which
true.
it could be, once again,
Asset.
a curse or a blessing.
Yeah.
Another reason, impatience. Pushy people struggle with waiting and want instant results.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part of it too. I was guilty of that. Insecurity. They seek validation by making sure things go their way. Nah, I don't think mine was so much out of insecurity.
Okay.
Lack of awareness. They don't realize how the behavior affects others. That was true.
Yeah. Just lack of awareness.
Yeah, because I thought everybody's pushy.
Yeah. This is just normal.
Yeah, it's just normal.
Just feels normal to you.
Exactly. But we get it. So who's who would you say now is the pushiest person? Yeah. Let me ask you this.
You have me on this podcast. You try to ask me to call people out on the podcast.
You're right.
Let me give you some names. Let me get my list out.
So when you were dating,
yes,
how did you deal with pushy men? Was that attractive, pushy? Because some women are like that. They're like, they want a man that's going to be on it, and it's like, oh, he really is into me. He's really trying. They like that the guy keeps pushing.
I'm going to give you the most honest answer you will ever hear. Pushy does not bother you when you are attracted to the person, when they're hot to you, when you just think, oh, they're hot, I want them. There's a lot of sexual energy. It's super sexy at first. If you're not attracted to them, especially as a woman, and a guy is pushy and you're not attracted, you're like, I want to punch you.
It's called me too.
Yeah, leave me alone, get away from me, knock it off, you're a jerk, right? So I think attraction has a lot to do with it, and it's the physical attraction. And I think that's true with any trait a lot of times. If you're really physically attracted to someone, you will overlook some stuff, right? And you'll make it attractive what they're doing. Like, oh, I like that because, we can justify anything in the mind.
Right.
So when I was dating, if I was really attracted to the guy, I thought it was masculine and sexy and confidence. Like that's how I labeled it.
Interesting. Yeah.
If I was not attracted, I labeled it pushy, rude, overbearing, annoying, and irritating.
Right.
So that's my answer.
Wow. That's the difference between a love letter and a restraining order. Wow. Such a thin line. Such a thin line. Wow. But it's the same thing with women. When I was dating, if the woman was attractive, that pushiness was flattering.
Yeah.
It was like, man, she really wants me. And if she's not, then she's a stalker.
Yeah.
If she's not attractive, if I'm not into her like that. So, wow.
Or she's committed. If you're attracted, she's committed. She's committed to you.
Yeah. And, and that just goes to show you how everything is so subjective.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you go through these traits, you got to really sit and think about it and really go within.
Yeah.
And don't just, do it from a superficial level, because you might miss something.
Yeah.
Maybe that might be someone else's projection of you, or what other people around you think, their limiting beliefs, or it could be dead on.
Yeah.
But once again, that's what this book is about. It's about reflection.
Well, I just want to add one thing. Like, this may be kind of weird. It's like a book within a book. I recently just finished reading Let Them by Mel Robbins, and it's such a great read. And one of the things in the book is it's let them is let people be them. But then the second part is let me do what works for me.
There you go.
Right? Let me be me.
The art of allowing.
And the art of allowing, right? So I think even with all these traits and what we're saying in dating, like it gets framed based on what you want. And we do have to let people be them, but we also can let ourselves respond the way that we need to respond. So again, it comes back to communication. If something works for you, then communicate that. If something doesn't work for you, communicate that. And the person has the opportunity to say, I'm willing to make changes, or I'm not. And if they don't, that's okay. If they do, that's great. Keep it moving. But I think the problem comes into play when we label people's unwillingness to change or their behavior as a personal attack against us. It's not a personal attack. Everybody just doing them. Everybody's just being how they are. But if a lot of people in your life are telling you that you're pushy, and you're not getting the connection and the movement in relationships, it's your choice to self-evaluate and say, maybe I do want to change this about myself. Because I want better outcomes. And that's any aspect of your life.
I agree.
So,
all right. So before we go, guys, we're going to give you, we don't want to just leave you guys hanging. Some of you might be thinking like, okay, what's something I could do to fix this? Well, get the ebook. We give you multiple ways that you could fix this. We'll go much deeper. But one of the simplest ways to what you can do now to start changing is to ask yourself, would I appreciate being pressured in this way?
Oh, that's really good. I like that.
All right. Do unto others as you want others to do unto you. That really goes back to that.
Yes, it is.
And think about the other person.
Golden rule.
All right. So if you just pause for a second before you jump into your push mode, and just be like, you know what? How would I feel if someone did this to me? What I'm doing.
Right.
And so start with that.
Great insight.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And listen.
Yes, and listen.
And listen. So I want to thank all of you for hanging out with us today. We love and appreciate you guys so, so much.
Yes, we do. Appreciate all you guys.
So make sure you're connecting with us over Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at The Amazing Clarks.
That's right. And if you guys haven't had a chance to get a copy of our book yet, Crack the Code, Secrets to Achieving Your Happily Ever After, make sure you pick up your copy today, available at Amazon.com. And if you're interested in becoming a life coach or just want to learn some skills to life coach yourself or the people around you, check out our life coach training and certification course at Law of Attraction, lifecoachacademy.com. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in coaching with the Amazing Clarks, yes, you can coach with us by phone, on Zoom, no matter where you live around the globe. And now you might even play your cards right, being able to coach with us in LA area, or in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. So either way, if you want to learn more, go to theamazingclarks.com. And don't forget, if you guys want to get a copy of the ebook, How to Stop Being an Irritating Person, 20 Irritating Traits, and How to Fix Them, then go to theamazingclarks.com.
Yes. And remember, to go there, you got to grow there.
That's right. So there you go. We gave it to you. Now what you going to do with it?
Love the Amazing Clarks.
See you next time.
See you next time.